Drought has seized Africa's savannas, water sources have depleted, and the soil has lost its fertility. In desperation, a tribe searches for salvation. In this tale of heroism, the young warrior Kiano embarks on a journey to change the fate of his tribe, hoping to find the key to liberation from the clutches of the drought. Kiano's epic adventure promises to end the wars among the tribes and revive nature. Will Kiano be able to end the drought? Embark on a journey filled with wars, magic, and legends to discover the spirit of Africa in this captivating story. And remember, every hero's journey is filled with great trials that await. Once upon a time, in a tribe in Africa, there lived a young warrior named Kiano. Kiano's tribe resided in the heart of Africa's vast savannas, where life breathed in harmony at every corner. The tribe had settled near the meanders of a great river, amidst lush trees and savanna grasslands, in a non-nomadic settlement. Their structures, integrated with the environment and made of natural materials, straw roofs, clay walls, and spacious open areas allowed the tribe members to live in close connection with nature. However, over time, under Africa's endlessly blue skies, the lands lost their former fertility, the river's waters receded, and the fields dried up. With no rain showing for a long time, crops struggled in the soil, and animals perished from thirst. This great drought led to deep conflicts and even wars among tribes. Everyone was fighting over the last drops of water and the remaining green shoots. During these desperate times, the tribe's young warrior, Kiano, was deeply concerned for the future of his tribe. He believed that the ceaseless conflicts among the tribes must end. But finding a solution to enlighten these dark times wasn't something everyone could comprehend. Therefore, Kiano decided to seek advice from the tribe's old wizard, known for his wisdom and powerful counsel. Upon reaching the entrance of the cave, considered sacred for ages, Kiano's heart started pounding with hope and anxiety. The cave was filled with symbols and mysterious signs from ancient times, each telling a story whispered from the depths of time. The wizard, with a deep voice filled with thoughts, started speaking to Kiano, seemingly understanding his intent.
To end the great famine and cease the wars among tribes, you must find the legendary Sunstone. This stone can revive the lands of Africa and bring the long-lost peace among tribes.
As Kiano listened to the wizard, a light sparked in his eyes. The Sunstone was a legendary object only mentioned in the old folks' tales, with no evidence of its existence. Yet for Kiano, it was the only beacon of hope in these desperate times. The wizard told him that only a brave and pure-hearted hero could find the Sunstone, facing countless dangers and trials along the way. Deciding to embark on this mysterious and perilous journey, Kiano stood at the brink of an adventure that could change the fate of his tribe and perhaps all of Africa. Thus, a journey that would become a legend began, searching for peace and fertility across the arid lands. On the first day of his journey, Kiano found a young lion wounded by a hunter. Without hesitation, he helped the lion and treated its wounds. In return, the lion spoke to Kiano, introducing itself as Zuri. Zuri claimed to be the only being who knew the location of the Sunstone and promised to lead him there if allowed to accompany him on his journey. Thus, an unbreakable friendship began. Together, they crossed scorching deserts, climbed high mountain peaks, and got lost in dense forests. Along the way, other animals joined them, a giraffe that told wise tales, a monkey always up for a joke, and an elephant, a symbol of strength and loyalty. As the group searched for the Sunstone's hiding place, they arrived at the foot of a mountain reaching the skies. Climbing the mountain, they faced challenges, sharp winds, slippery rocks, and trials testing them at every step. Yet, through unity and bravery, they reached the summit. The view of the magnificent African landscape from the summit somewhat lessened the disappointment of not yet finding the sunstone. They decided to rest by the fire they lit at the summit that night. The next day, Kiano and Zuri discovered ancient ruins while searching for the sunstone. These ruins belonged to a forgotten civilization, holding a secret from beyond time. At the deepest point of the ruins, they found a mysterious door covered with ancient hieroglyphs, warning them that they must pass a series of trials to find the stone. Kiano and Zuri deciphered the hieroglyphs to open the door and stepped into a cave filled with light. At the center of the cave, suspended in the air, they found the glowing sunstone. However, a protective spirit appeared around the stone. This spirit was the soul of an ancient queen who had the power to control the stone's power. The queen set one final test before giving them the stone, stipulating that it could only be used for peace and goodness. The guardian of the sunstone tasked them with observing the stone for a while. This test aimed to see if the immense power and allure of the stone could distract them from their true purpose. When the sunstone was placed before them, its warmth and brilliance deeply affected Kiano. The stone seemed to whisper for attention, to be touched, to become one with it. This power had the potential to end wars, eradicate drought, and bring peace among tribes. As Kiano was enchanted by the thought of using the stone's power to quickly solve all problems, he remembered the true purpose of the test and tried not to succumb to the stone's magic. Throughout the night, walking around and conversing with the stone, Kiano resisted its tempting offer of power. The spirit, witnessing their learning of this deep lesson, entrusted the sunstone to them. However, their adventure didn't end there. The power of the sunstone also awakened their ancient enemies, the shadow beings, who wanted to use the stone's power for their dark purposes. Kiano, Zuri, and their fellow heroes had to face this new threat to protect the spirit of Africa. The ancient enemies, shadow beings, had been imprisoned in another dimension for centuries, but the brilliance of the sunstone broke their long slumber. These beings, descended from dark forces that had attempted to invade Africa's lands and spirits since the beginning of time, sought to seize the sunstone. Obtaining it would not only grant them immense power, but also the chance to reshape the world according to their dark visions. When Kiano and Zuri first noticed the sinister shadows filtering through the dark clouds at sunset, they realized the magnitude of the danger. The shadow beings, silent and swift, were barely visible to the naked eye but palpably threatening. They sneaked into villages at night, entering the dreams of people and animals, sowing seeds of fear and doubt. Kiano, Zuri, and their fellow heroes united to counter the attacks of the shadow beings. Wizards strengthened the villages with protective spells, and warriors kept watch at night to fend off the shadows. But the real battle took place at the sacred site where the sunstone was located. The shadow beings pooled their powers to breach the defenses of the stone's guardian, the queen's spirit. In the midst of a storm, surrounded by thunder and lightning, Kiano and Zuri stepped forward to confront the leader of the shadow beings. This leader, the most powerful of the shadows, had emerged from the depths of darkness millennia ago. The struggle between the two sides was tested not only by physical strength, but also by will, courage, and the power of the soul. Kiano, with the inner light granted by the sunstone, challenged the shadow leader. Zuri's roar pushed back the shadows, and all the creatures of the forest joined them in battle. This was not just a fight, but an eternal clash between light and darkness, hope and despair, love and hate. At the peak of the battle, Kiano used the sunstone to create a burst of light. This explosion pushed the shadow beings back to their dimension, and once again filled Africa's lands with warm, vibrant light. This victory led not only to the shadow beings' retreat and disappearance. After their victory, Africa's spirit was revitalized. The lands flourished, rivers flowed exuberantly, and animals lived in peace. Kiano and Zuri, beyond their fight against darkness, built bridges strengthening the harmony between nature and humans. Under their leadership, old disputes among tribes ended, and a new era began. An era built on shared riches and common goals. When they returned to their tribes with the stone, their epic achievement ended the wars among the tribes. Under the leadership of Kiano and Zuri, all the tribes of Africa united and swore to live in peace. The Sunstone started to be circulated among the tribes, each hosting it in turn, taking on their role in maintaining unity and peace. The Sunstone was recognized as the common heritage of the tribes, and its light became a symbol of hope and unity for future generations. Though Kiano and Zuri eventually became mythological figures, their spirit continued to live in every stone, tree, and drop of water in Africa. They proved that harmony between humans and nature, peace, and unity were possible. Thus, the vast lands of Africa were forever enriched by the legend of these two heroes.